We're talking about Trevor Lawrence, all right? Trevor Lawrence having an unbelievable stretch here, it feels like, over the last 3 or 4 games, has totally turned the corner from those struggles that we saw earlier in the season. Obviously, you take into account what happened last year, the Lawrence Express. Oh, graphics team. I don't know what y'all are paid, but you're underpaid. That's all I'm saying. Trevor Lawrence played absolutely fantastic this year, especially down the stretch. So it opens up the debate, the fun debate that us sports fans have all the time that we wanted to have with you guys. Rank it. Where would you put Trevor Lawrence? How many quarterbacks in the NFL are you taking over Trevor Lawrence right now? Mike?
Oh! Why do you have to do this to me? It's difficult. It's a difficult exercise.
That's the point. It's the point. We go where no one else goes.
He's been on a magical run, shall we say, through the NFL over the past handful of weeks. Stats are insane. I mean, the highest graded quarterback since week 9. And it's coming down the football field. It's not coming dinking and dunking. It's coming with impressive there. Look at 16 big-time throws. That's over 2 a week that he's averaging. That's real deal, high-end quarterbacking. He's doing it at late in the fourth quarter, multiple fourth-quarter comebacks over that span as well. So my list is tight. Mm-hmm. It is Patrick Mahomes, and this is like starting a franchise. Who am I? Obviously, not just who today would I take over.
Sure.
Starting a franchise right now, would I take over?
Yep.
It's Patrick Mahomes.
Okay.
It's Josh Allen.
Okay.
And it's Joe Burrow. And
that's it.
That's it. That is the only people I'm taking over him right now. It goes back to what you saw from him as a prospect, right? And this is still a small sample. It's only 6 games. I'm not going to act like he's going to be this guy the entire rest of his career, and that he's not going to have hiccups along the way, and that he's not going to be, he's never going to be a perfect quarterback. There's ups and downs, as we've seen with all of these guys on this list. But it goes back to how I thought of him as a prospect and what he showed at Clemson, albeit still in college, but freshman, sophomore, junior year, was as good a collegiate career as we've seen in a decade at the quarterback position. Since Andrew Luck, that we've seen at the quarterback position in terms of just soundness, I guess I'll say, in terms of just consistency and what you'll expect, the things you'll expect at the NFL level that you're seeing already at the collegiate level. He had those, and the ceiling that could go as high as you wanted it to, because he is a high-end athlete for a guy, 6'6", 215, 220 pounds. He is a high-end arm talent quarterback. He does process at an elite level and did at the collegiate level as well. So it was kind of always, when is it going to happen? Not if it's going to happen. It's happening. And because of that, there's really only guys that I've seen play at that elite level for longer that and have won and gotten to the highest of highs or close to the highest of highs that I'm going to put above them.
I mean, that's why last year was so worrisome, right? I mean, like you took what felt like the golden boy for so long, right? Trevor Lawrence came on as a freshman at Clemson. We went, this guy's next. We crowned him so early. And yet, because of the NFL draft process and the rules, we knew that there was going to be 2 more years of college football before this guy was even draft eligible. So we wait 2 long years finally to get Trevor Lawrence into the NFL, and it's Urban Meyer who's his coach. And we saw just how much of a circus it was under Urban Meyer. And we've even seen some players from the Jags in the locker room, they'll ask, hey, what's the big difference between Trevor this year and last year? And a lot of these guys will go, coaching. It's absolutely coaching. And that's why it was just so worrisome how bad it was under Urban Meyer. But Doug Peterson is the perfect bounce back coach. I talked about it yesterday. The chemistry that these two have together, I think, is absolutely fantastic. And so it is so great to see him taking those steps forward, showing those traits that you mentioned there that we believed in college. Now we're getting to see a lot of them in the NFL. I'll get to my answers in a second. But Victor says Burrow, Mahomes, Josh Allen, Jalen Hurts, and Justin Herbert are the 5. Brock says Mahomes, Burrow, Herbert, Allen, and that's it. So he's going with 4. TJ saying Mahomes, Allen, Herbert, Burrow, Hurts. Okay, so we got Hurts in there a couple of times. Britt saying Burrow, Allen, Mahomes, Herbert, not taking the runners / old goats above him. Uncle Dusty says he's not super high on Herbert, so he's probably not going to be on his list. Steven says Mahomes, Allen, Burrow. That's it. He's agreeing with you on that. Nate says Blaine Gabbert, Mike Glennon, Nate Peterman. Understandable. Definitely understandable. First time we've heard those names, but totally get it there. Totally get it. Walt says Mahomes, Allen, Burrow, Herbert, Lawrence, and Hurts are his 6 quarterbacks right
Lawrence,
there.
he's taking above Lawrence?
He is taking Lawrence above Lawrence. Look, sometimes it's you versus the man in the mirror.
Yeah.
Sometimes that's what it's all about. Or maybe it's like an evil.
Dark side Lawrence.
Dark side Lawrence.
There's no dark. I feel like
Okay,
Trevor
now
Lawrence
I'm
has
kinda
0
into
dark
it.
side. Trevor Lawrence is about as like.
Yeah, but what if it was like Trevor Lawrence, but just like dark brown hair?
Dyes his hair black.
Jet black, straight emo, anime
He
style.
definitely gives off vibes that he could have been an emo king back in the day.
Look, I'm jealous. I'm jealous about that. Okay, my quarterbacks that I would take over Trevor Lawrence. I agree with you on your 3.
Okay.
I would also have Mahomes. I would have Allen. I would have Burrow in there. Those were the first 3 that I had. I'm also putting Lamar Jackson in there, and I'm putting Justin Herbert in there. Those last two are tough for different reasons. But ultimately, I look at Herbert and Lawrence, and I see them very similarly. Though that to me is a toss-up. You have arm talent there, you have processing, you have overcoming certain situations. Like, you just have those 2 players with Herbert and Lawrence. It truly, to me, is a coin flip. Like, those guys are elite quarterbacks and have elite futures.
They're 2 hymns.
They are 2 hymns, they're 2 hymns. There's no other way to say it. And then Lamar, I have to put Lamar in here because Lamar, I still think, is a phenomenal quarterback. What Lamar brings to the table is rare. There is no one else in the NFL, Jalen Hurts included, that can bring the level of passing and rushing that Lamar can when he's fully healthy. And I still believe that. I still believe that he is one of the most talented players in this league. And because of just the rarity of what we have seen from Lamar Jackson, although it is a couple of years ago, I still believe he has that talent. I actually love to see him in an offense that's not orchestrated by Greg Roman, but because of the uniqueness of Lamar, I still got to put Lamar over Trevor Lawrence right now.
Not to go all football guy on you, but the best ability.
Yes, I hear it.
His availability.
I hear it.
Lamar never started a full season in his career to date. 4 years as a starter.
I hear you.
Full season.
I hear you.
15 games, 12 games, and now 12 games only through this season.
If I was starting a franchise, I'd be sweating with those last 2 guys.
Yeah.
Like if it was a 100% serious in real life Madden Fantasies redraft, and I was on the clock, and I had Lamar Jackson, I had Trevor Lawrence, I had Justin Herbert available, I'd be sweating bullets. But that's kind of what I think. That's where I'm at.
I know it's crazy. We haven't really there's kind of been whispers about this conversation, but the Jets should have had Trevor Lawrence. The Jets were the worst team in the NFL that year, back 2020.
Don't bring it up.
They should have.
They don't want to hear this.
They won. Winning those games they did at the end of the season was a travesty. And now they're, because of them, because you win every game.
So you an advocate for tanking?
Because you want to win every game. Yes, when it means you fucking getting Trevor Lawrence versus Zach Wilson, hell yes.